Welcome in, everybody. It's really been nice to see our community of exercisers growing. So I do have a small push, a small goal for us. We're currently at 33 subscribers, and I'm aiming to get to 50 by midsummer, so maybe end of July, something like that. So that's going to be my goal. If you could share these videos with somebody else that you think maybe could benefit from exercise, and I'm saying everybody can benefit from exercise. So yeah, share it with everybody, and let's see if we can get to 50 subscribers by the end of July. All right. Thank you guys so much. Welcome into another strength and stretch class where we do strength for the majority and a little bit of stretch at the end. I'm gonna get started right away, getting the body warmed up. I'll try to keep the tempo up today to burn more calories and really kind of get the heart rate up, but monitor yourself, right? And take a break whenever you need to, back off of the tempo whenever you need to. I'm gonna do a full body approach today where we're doing our normal circuits, right? Or we do about 3 moves, sometimes 4, and we repeat those moves, but each circuit will include different body parts. So it won't be like all legs in the circuit and then all arms in a circuit. We'll mix it up, full body the whole time. Here we are. So just shaking out the arms, kind of trotting and jogging in place, getting the blood flowing, and settle down for a second here. Turning the head left and right. Gentle rotations for the neck. It's not a range of motion test. It's just a little inspection, right? Make sure things are feeling okay for movement. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Very important to get warmed up before classes like this, but really before any kind of exercise. You want to warm up and switch directions, up, forward, and down. Great to have you all today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for moving with me. And then nice wide feet, sink down at the knees and hips for a little bit of cushion in the knees and blood flow through the legs so that we're not locking out the knees, right? Rotate the spine here. You can bring the fists together, palms together, or just swing the arms. The idea here is spinal rotation though. So the shoulders roll back, shoulder rolls back, left and right, not twisting the knees. Almost done. I'm going to turn to the side and take a nice deep breath and expand the lungs and the ribs. Switch sides. Nice deep breath, expand the lungs and the ribs. Exhale, unwind, feet come closer together, and hula hoop circles. Getting toward the end of our light warm up here. And switch directions. Roll in the hips. Okay, so in this class, you don't have to have a chair. Sometimes I use it for planks. You don't have to have wall space. Sometimes I use that for planks. You don't have to use yoga mats. Sometimes I get on the floor, but that's not very often, and I don't believe I'll be doing it much in this class. It's just there as an option. Light weights are kind of nice. Resistance bands, but I don't have a resistance band, so I'm not demonstrating with them, but use what you have, right? And change any mix and match. Jogging in place right now, by the way, just to get the heart rate up and the blood flowing through the body. Mix and match any exercises. If you feel like there's one that just doesn't suit you, right? Doesn't reach your goals, or it doesn't feel good on your body, then skip that move entirely, and I'll try to offer as many modifications and alternative options as possible. All right, side jacks, tapping the toes out to the sides. The arms are kind of coming up a little sloppy there on purpose, right? I'm not stiff arming it because it's not as comfortable on my shoulders, so I prefer just to kind of toss my hands up like this. Lazy side jacks, sloppy side jacks, that's fine. Make sure we're breathing. And I'm going to add punching. So as I step left, I'm punching left. As I step right, I'm punching right. Breathe in here. And high knee pull down, squeezing the core. So arms come up. They don't have to come up very high, but come up and then pull down as we exhale and the knee rises. Exhale as the knee rises. Exhale as you pull down. Squeeze the core. Squeeze the core. Good work. That exhale usually gets a little bit extra intensity in the core as we pull down and crunch. Almost there. All right, let's get to our first circuit here. Each circuit will be about 3 to 4 moves, 1 minute for each move. Our first move in our first circuit is a plank. My favorite way to do a plank is with my hands on a nice sturdy chair without wheels, right? Not a scooter, a chair. Nice tight core, a fairly straight line from the heels, hips, shoulders, and ears. Okay, you can do this with your hands on the ground, elbows and forearms on the ground, or with your hands at a wall. Okay, so lots and lots of options. Try to keep your try to keep your body in a fairly straight line though. Again, my favorite's at the chair. I'll start there, but I'll move around a little. Here's our timer. And let's go ahead and get moving. Nice tight core. Give it a good exhale to really squeeze the abdominals. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Okay. It's good to keep your eyes down on the chair, down on the floor, or down on the walls as you do this move so that you're not hurting your neck, turning left and right to look at me or a mirror or anything walking by. All right, these firm, static postures, isometric holds are good, especially for kind of lining up the spine and getting everything primed and ready to go. Our next move will have a little more movement with it. Squeeze the core, squeeze the core. All right. Couple of options here. Here's what I'm going to start with. Toes are forward, step right and add a little squat. Back to the center, step left and add a little squat. You don't need to go super duper low, right? Go as low as what's tolerable for you. And your step back, your side to side step might be slightly backward, might be perfectly out to the side. It's going to depend on where your legs line up and feel good. For me, let me show you just a side profile. It's more comfortable for my foot to step back a little bit and out. If I step straight out to the side, it just doesn't feel as good on my ankles and my knees. So I open up the hips and step back, return to the front, open up the hips and step back. Modify however you like, okay? Another option here, sink down and just kind of weight shift, stepping, and you're not really squatting. You're just sunken down just a little bit, okay? Feels like I'm pulling a bow and arrow back, left and right. See that? Pulling a bow and arrow back. Okay, that's an option. Another one here is just sink down and bounce left and right. Kind of just like we're bouncing on a tiny little trampoline left and right with the feet. So I'll kind of alternate between those options as we go. My first choice though, if you can, is step back and squat. Return to the center. Step back and squat. Here's our timer. And as we go, I'll give less descriptions, and as you know the moves, you can skip through my descriptions and just kind of keep on moving with it. So here we are. Squat and forward. Squat and forward. Go your own rhythm. You can go faster, you can go slower. Just listen to your body and what feels safe. Okay? So that was one option. Stepping back like you're pulling a bow and arrow is another option, right? Step back and just pull. Getting the heart rate up here. And then another option was just a nice wide base of support, bouncing left and right. Okay, the hands are just here for balance and support. For most of these moves, you want to kind of keep your spine nice and vertical, a nice tight core. It is okay to hinge forward a little bit at the hips as you squat, but the back is still fairly straight, right? So you decide which of those you're going with, and the timer is almost up already. Breathing. I'm gonna get my weights next. And here we All right, so light weights if you have them. If you don't, I have an alternative. Unlock the knees, sink down just a little bit. I'm not really gonna call this a squat though. It's just kind of unlocking the knees so that the body can use a little bit of momentum, but really a lot of control and a functional movement pattern. So sink down, a little bit of unlock in the knees, stand, and the body moves together kind of all as one, okay? Stand and the arms come out, sink down. Stand and the arms come out, sink down. When the arms come out, my hands are no higher than the height of my shoulders. So I'm not coming up here, right? That's not great on the shoulders. Things could pinch. Here is fine, and anywhere lower is fine. These could be very partial range of motion moves, okay? They don't have to come up very high. If you don't have any weights, just have the arms out to the sides, lower them down a little bit, and just do circles. A whole minute of this is gonna be a lot. Unlock the knees, tighten the core. That will be a lot, okay? It's a lot for me. Here's our timer. This is move number 3 out of 3. And like I said, you can take as many breaks as you want. You can completely change a move if you like, if it doesn't feel right for you. And you can get a move on when I'm talking too much. You can get ahead of me, that's fine. If you already know the move, get going. All right. Shoulder blades pull back and down. We don't want to shrug them up toward the ears like this. Right? We want to keep them down like this, nice long neck. Breathing. And this is move number 3 out of 3, like I said. So after this, we're going to go back to planks, either at the floor, the chair, or the wall. You decide. Eyes should stay straight forward. We don't want to look left and right for risking the neck. Great work today. I'm already getting out of breath. All right, there we are. So you decide if you're gonna do the plank at the floor, chair, or the wall. Here's our timer. Nice tight core, fairly straight line from the heels, hips, shoulders, and ears. Try not to droop down at the waist. Okay, you might be at the floor. Now, if you really want to increase intensity here, all right, if you're feeling like you've just got a lot of energy today, bring your elbows down to the floor, and you won't see what I'm doing, but I'll describe it. Pull the elbows toward your toes, right? As if I'm crunching the ground together. That's a lot. I cannot last a minute like that. Maybe you can, but I get about 10 seconds in and I got to take a break. So I'm dragging my elbows toward my toes. They're not actually moving, but the force is there. The pressure is there. The resistance is there. 16 seconds left. Pulling the elbows down toward the toes if you're doing this version. We got 10 seconds left. You want to keep your eyes down on the ground, down on the chair, or down on the floor. Almost there. Did I say the ground or the floor? Down on the wall. That's our third option. All right, there's our timer. Move number 2 in this second round of our first circuit. Stepping back, pulling a bow and arrow, right? You can do that. You can step back and out to the side and do our squats. Or you can just stay stationary with the feet, nice wide, base of support, and bounce left and right. You decide what works for you. Here's our timer. 1 minute's going. You might bounce, you might step, you might squat. Breathing, nice tight core. Fairly straight spine, tuck the tail. Getting the heart rate going. All right, move number 3 after this is with the weights, if you have them. If not, they do little arm circles. Great work already today. Make sure we're breathing. We've got 20 seconds left. I'm going to keep going on this movement series, but I'm going to change what I'm doing. I'm doing the squat now. 11 seconds left. There's our timer. Shake it out. Take your time getting to the next one. Unlock the knees. Arms come out. Sink down. Arms come out. Sink down. Partial range of motion is absolutely fine here. Timer's going. And we're moving, we're working hard. Make sure we're breathing. Shoulder blades pull back and down. This is move number 3 out of 3 for our second round of our first circuit. That means after this, I'm gonna get a quick sip of water. You're welcome to keep on jogging or keep on moving while I get a quick sip of water. You don't have to take a break just because I am. You can keep the tempo up if you like. And then we'll be on to a new set of 3 moves. Breathing, shoulders back. Small bend in the legs. And there's our timer. All right. Set these aside. I'm gonna get my sip of water. Hey guys, while you take a break, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can see when I post more videos like these. All right, thanks. Back to the workout. Okay, you can take a longer break if you need it. I'm gonna keep on moving here. Next up, this is shuffling to the side, and we squeeze the core in kind of the transition of each direction. So shuffle to the right, squeeze the knee across, shuffle to the left, squeeze the knee across. So it's left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, alternating side to side. Shuffle in, shuffle, squeeze, squeeze, and shuffle, squeeze. Okay, side to side. You don't have to move a whole lot here as far as distance goes. So if you're in a small space, you can stay pretty steady. That's okay. Squeeze the core, give it a good exhale as you bring the knee across. And here's our timer. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Go your own rhythm, go your own pace. You might go a lot slower and get a good abdominal squeeze in there, like this. Or you might be shuffling real quick, right? Foot fire. Football training season or something, I don't know. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. All right, after this is a compound movement. It's kind of like 3 moves in one. I'll show you. And there's our timer. Okay, this is a bicep curl plus a squat plus an overhead press. You can minus, you can subtract, you can ditch any part of this that you don't like, whether it be the squat or the overhead press or the curl or whatever. Here it is, nice wide feet, curl, then the weights are at the shoulders, squat, and when you stand, press. Then we start over, we go back down. Curl, squat, press. Nice tight core, coming back down, okay? So those are the 3 parts. If you just want to curl and press, it's called an Arnold press. If you just want to squat and press, that's fine as well. I'm gonna do all 3. Here's our timer. If you don't have any weights, you can use cans of soup. You can just do the movement pattern and it will likely be enough just with the squatting alone. Curl, squat, press. Control it down and down. Curl, squat, press. All right, go at your own pace, your own rhythm. This is move number 2 out of 3. Our next move will be for the glutes. Curl, squat, press. Now if you're feeling like this is just too easy, you might squat lower. You might curl and press with a heavier weight even. Here's our next move. Okay, for the glutes, you're creating a fairly straight line with your spine and your leg. I like to hold on to a chair like this. Nice tight core, fairly straight spine. Right leg kicks back, squeeze the glutes, and switch sides. Left leg kicks back, squeeze the glutes, and switch sides. If you use a wall, it looks like this. You might be at a little bit more of a slant and a little bit less of a flat back, but it's still a straight spine. Squeezing the glutes. And if you choose to do this at the floor, it can look like this. Hands and knees underneath the shoulders and hips. Squeeze the glutes as you kick back. Squeeze the glutes as you kick back. If you're on the floor, sometimes people add this yoga traditional move, bird dog, and lift the arm as well. Okay? So the front left arm and the back right leg. Okay? You choose how you like to do this move. I'm going to do this at the chair. That's my favorite version of this move. And here's our timer. Nice tight core. Unlock the knees a little bit. Squeeze the glutes as we swing back. I like the chair one because it feels like my leg has more gravity to fight against. It's a little bit more vertical resistance than the other versions. But the other ones are really, they're just as good. This is about intentionality, squeezing the muscles, going slow, less momentum, and more intentionality. All right, the move after this is our shuffling left and right. Squeezing the core. Try to keep your neck straight. Here we are. Next move. Shuffle to the side, shuffle to the side. Looks like this. Pull the knee across. Pull the knee across. Give it a good exhale as you pull your knee across. And here we go. Shuffle and pull. Pull. Give it a good exhale. Give it a good exhale. You can go faster if you like. Shuffle to the side, shuffle to the side, shuffle to the side, or slower. "30 seconds left. Move after this, keep on focusing on this one, right, for safety. But the move after this will be our curl, squat, press, any variation of those three moves. Or something else if you prefer. Great work, great work. There we go. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs, curl, squat down, and press. You decide on the depth, the weight, all that kind of stuff. Here we go. Here's our 1 minute timer. Take your time getting there. Nice wide feet. Curl, squat, your preferred depth, and press. Okay? You can go faster than that. That's just for demonstration. Curl, squat, press. Curl, squat, press. Nice tight core, vertical spine. Eyes stay straight forward. Almost there. All right, and then it's our bent over glute extension. You decide if you're at the chair, the wall, the floor. Maybe I'll do the wall and the floor version this time just to demonstrate. I did the chair last time. Here's our timer. Here's what the wall looks like. Nice tight core, hinge forward at the hips, squeeze the glutes as the leg kicks back. Squeeze the glutes as the leg kicks back. All right, if you're on the floor, it looks like this. Breathing. And you might include reaching the arm forward. Timer's almost up though. This is the end of round 2 for our second circuit. Nice tight core. And there we are. Take your time getting up. Get some water, get a break if you need it. Keep on jogging and moving if you prefer. Go subscribe. Yeah. Next circuit, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Starting, nice wide feet, sink down and punching. So I'm tightening the core. It's almost an isometric squeeze, although I'm bouncing a little bit, okay? Sink down, little bounce. If that's too deep for you, just come up a little bit higher, right? And if that's too wide for you, just come a little bit narrower, right? Just modify and avoid pain, right? Fight through fatigue, but push through, don't push through pain. Fight through fatigue, don't push through pain. Let's be clear. Okay, so nice wide feet, sink down, and we're punching left and right. And this starts our third circuit. Okay, so it's our first move here. Timer's going, 1 minute. Sink down, you decide on the depth, you decide on the width of your stance. Great work today, everybody. Good job pushing through, taking the breaks that you need to take. Punch, punch. You can go your own rhythm. Here's mine. Side, 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 side. Hit, 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 hit. You can go faster though, or slower. Getting the heart rate up here toward the end. All right, and almost next up here, just a few seconds. There's our timer. Shake it out, shake it out. Okay, alternating biceps curls. I use weights for this. If you don't have weights today, I'll give you an alternative. But here it is, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and we're going left and right, okay? Alternating left and right. If you have a resistance band, you can step on the band in the middle of the band and pull up left and right. That's an option. You can use cans of soup, anything like that. If that's just not working for you today and you don't feel like you're getting a lot out of it, I would suggest something completely different. Just go for core, go for legs. Just avoid the biceps. They're hard for me to get a lot out of unless I use resistance. It is difficult to just squeeze the biceps. It can be done, right? Some people are well trained at just squeezing the muscles, and it can be done. But if you don't have that mind motor control to really squeeze, then what you might need to do is a totally different workout here, a totally different exercise in this slot to burn calories. So it might be reaching up, pulling down, going back to some of our warm-up moves, but really squeezing, okay? It might be side jacks, okay? It might be just jogging for a minute. So you decide what works for you if you don't do alternating bicep curls. Here's our minute. Like I said, if I'm ever talking too much and you're ready to get going, no harm in doing it a little bit earlier than me, that's fine. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, curling. If you need to do an alternative move and skip the biceps altogether and make it more challenging in a different way, that's absolutely fine. Keep the eyes straight forward, shoulders back, chest up. Tuck your shoulder blades down. Good work, good work. So for me, right, this is a little bit of a rest day on my biceps. I'm not going very intense. If I were really going for it here, I would need to increase my resistance or really be squeezing the muscles. Okay. And sometimes you don't know where your energy level's at for a day until you try it. So all you gotta do is give it a shot, increase the challenge if it's not enough. All right, there's our timer. Next up. All right, guys, this one is tipping and kicking. So I'm gonna tip left and kick right, tip right and kick left. I like to add intensity to this by adding a little squat as I land with my foot. So tip and kick, land with the foot and add a little squat. Tip and kick, add a little squat. Tip and kick, add a little squat. You don't have to add the squat. I like to face a wall for stability. So that's what I'll do. I'll face away from you guys today. Here's our timer. Tip and kick. I like to hold on to that wall pretty much the whole time. You decide if you're adding a little squat or if you're simply tipping left and kicking right, tipping right and kicking left. It doesn't have to be a high kick like this, right? It could be lower. Okay, add the squat if you like. Controlled kick. All right. And this is move number 3. I'm actually going to do a 4th move for this series. This is our final circuit, and I'm going to do another round of it in just a second. This is 3 out of 4 moves so far. All right, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Couple of options for our 4th move. We'll do another round, like I said, but it's the final demonstration of a move. Nice wide feet, kettlebell swings look like this. I'm holding on to one weight, sink down, swing forward, okay? When I swing forward, my weights are no higher than the height of my hands, or The weights are no higher than the height of my shoulders. So I'm not up here, down here to my shoulder height, or lower. So lower is fine. Right? We just don't want to go higher than right about there. Sink down, nice vertical spine. Sternum stays forward the whole time. I'm not going to round down toward the ground. That's not good. You want to keep your shoulders back and chest up. It's a full body move. Okay, that's an option. And another option here is the shot put squat. Squat shot put. So it looks like this. Weights up at the shoulders. Nice wide feet. Squat down to your preferred depth, whatever that is. Stand and press with one hand. Other side, press with the other hand. So the weight rests at the shoulder, pressing straight up. Now in a shot put, right, in the Olympics, whatever, in track and field, you're pushing it to get it to launch somewhere distant from you. For this workout, you're not letting go of the weight, right? So you want to go straight up and down. That's better to stack your resistance vertically through your body than to push forward. So don't push forward, push straight up like this. Sink down and up, down and up, okay? You decide which one you're gonna go with. I'll do the kettlebell swings on the first round and maybe the shot put squat on the second round. You decide what works for you. Here's our timer. Nice wide feet. Sink down and swing. Sink down and swing. Breathing. Great work. So after this, right, repeat these 4 moves. So 4 moves left. Then we'll get to a little stretch, recovery. We'll be on with the day. On to good things. Hope you guys are feeling well. Working hard, working smart. Getting stronger, living longer. All right. Almost there for our minute.
It's a steady swing. It's not like a flinging momentum, right? Just a touch of momentum and a lot of control. There we go. All right, I'm gonna set these down. This is our wide squat with punch. Nice wide feet. Sink down. Punching left and right. Wide squat with a side of punch. Here we go. Timer. Timer's counting down. Nice wide feet. Sink down. You decide on the depth. Doesn't have to be that low. Add a little bounce, right? Great for balance, right? My goal in this class isn't necessarily to improve balance, but some things are going to, right? Like this, where your body weight, your strength is responding to your body weight times gravity as it bounces left and right, as it bounces up and down, as you practice having a nice wide base of support. That's good stuff. Tight core, vertical spine. Breathing. Great work today. Right around the corner. 3 moves left. All right, so this is the one where we did an alternating bicep curl. But if you don't feel like you're getting enough out of that from the weights that you have, for example, you could do a high knee pull down and squeeze the core, right? You could do the side jacks. You could jog in place, okay? Lots of other things. You can go back to an old move, right? A move that we did today. Squeeze the glutes. Get the most you can out of your time. Here's our timer. I'm gonna go to our bicep curls. Like I said, that was a little light for me last time, so I'm gonna choose a slightly heavier weight. And I think that I'll get more out of that. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, alternating left and right. Now, if it starts to feel real heavy, you'll definitely have to slow down, and that doesn't make it easier. Actually makes it harder, but it makes it safer and more effective. So, I don't know, that's kind of a win-win. It's safer and more effective to slow it down, especially if it's a heavier weight for you. So slow it down if it's heavy. Breathing, eyes straight forward. Maybe working up a sweat here. Next up, we got to get our weights completely out of the way. Timer's not up yet, but when it is, completely out of the way because it's tipping and kicking, and that's kind of a high risk for fall move. We want to avoid any tripping hazards, okay? These can get out of the way. I won't use those again. There's our timer. Tipping and kicking looks like this. Okay, tip and kick. If you add the squat, great. If not, you can skip it, that's fine. You can tip and kick low, where your toe stays on the ground. Do what works for you. Here's our timer. Tip and kick. Excuse me. Maybe do a couple slow motion squats so that you're really descending down with control, right? A silent toe touch on the floor. And then our final move after this is either kettlebell swing, sometimes I call it elephant trunks, or a shot put squat. Full body today, everybody. Good work. Burning calories, using the energy we've got stored up. Holding on to a wall if you need it. And there's our timer. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. So on our first round, I did the kettlebell swing, right? No higher than the height of the shoulders. Lower is better. Safer on the shoulders. This round, I'm going to do the shot put squat where I alternate left and right, pressing up overhead. Here's our timer. And let's get moving. So we did 3 circuits today. 2 of the circuits had 3 moves. 1 of the circuits had 4 moves. You can slow it down. You can make it more shallow. I just don't want to smash my ceiling here. I'm not as tall as this ceiling makes me look. It's a short room. We use what we have. Good work, straight up if you can. Nice tight core. Nice wide feet for good balance and base of support. Knees lined up with the toes, they're not buckling in to the midline. And there's our timer, everybody. Let me set these aside. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. And I'm ready to get right into a good little recovery stretch.
Hey guys, it's me again. You guys rock. You thought I was going to ask you to like the video, didn't you? Yeah, no. Just telling you guys rock. All right, back to the video.
All right. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Some of the classes I teach, I don't include a stretch at the end, so you might have to go back to, like, we have some recorded, I've recorded a recovery stretch to tack on to some of those classes that I don't stretch at the end of. This one we stretch with you, so don't need to go to anything else. Here we are, rolling the wrists, bend and extend the elbows, cooling down, turn the head left and right, and roll the shoulders. Big shoulder rolls, big shoulder rolls. Switch directions, up, forward, and down. All right. Circles at the hips, hula hoop circles. It looks a lot like our warm up, and then we'll actually do some more in the way of stretching. Switch directions. And there we go. Okay, let's work from the top down today, just to really save our necks, protect our necks. I'm gonna look down toward the ground and rock the forehead left and right, kind of over either toe. Unlock the knees here. It's very tempting to keep your knees locked out. I know, I'm one of those people who just has knees locked out all day. So you gotta unlock the knees on purpose. Look down toward the ground and rock the forehead left and right. And back to the center and up. All right, now the sides of the neck. Now you're welcome to spend more time on all of these. I'm gonna quickly go through them and you can spend more time if you like. Eyes forward, right ear toward the right shoulder. The eyes stay forward, they're not looking down at the shoulder, so that we get the side of the neck here. When I breathe in, I'm gonna rise with the shoulders, which actually takes us out of tension. And then when I exhale, I'm gonna sink my fingertips down toward the ground. And remember to keep my knees a little bit unlocked. Okay, so breathe in, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, fingertips point down toward the ground. We'll do a third one last one here, but you could do 10 if you wanted. Come on up. And fingertips down toward the ground. All right, switching sides. Left ear toward the left shoulder, eyes are forward, looking for tension in the right side of the neck. You might be on the opposite side, that's fine. Breathing in, coming up. Exhale, down for 1. Breathing in, coming up. Fingertips down toward the ground for 2. Eyes are forward. Unlock the knees. Last one, deep breath, shoulders come up. Fingertips reach down toward the ground, getting more tension in the side of the neck. All right, come on up, shrug and roll the shoulders a little bit. Here we go. We'll be brief for this one. Right arm comes across, because a lot of people don't feel tension in the deltoids. These are the shoulder muscles on the outside of the shoulder, not the tops. Okay, that's kind of what we got with our neck move in the last move. These deltoids, a lot of people don't feel that tension. It's still good to kind of address briefly, but we won't spend a lot of time here. I just cross my arm and I turn the way I'm pointing. This is my right arm pointing left, so I'm just rotating left. If it pinches, I would encourage you to try down lower with the arm, versus up that high. Okay, switching sides, arm comes across. This is my left arm pointing right, so I'm just rotating right. A little bit of movement, tension. And if it pinches, pull down and across instead. That might feel a little bit better. Okay, coming out of that, clasping the hands together. Some lats here. 2 different moves. Clasp them and sink down, up and out. Sink down, up and out. I call them the V-ups. Down in the center, up and wide. Down in the center, up and wide. Now you can move your hips a little bit with this and kind of modify how much tension you get along the side of the ribs and in the back by swaying side to side. Okay, so you can kind of play with that and see what you like as far as amount of tension goes. The other one I do sometimes for this is hands up overhead, and I just go over like a little rainbow here, over the arch, over the arch. I don't like that one as much because it's harder for me to keep good air in my lungs and breathe when my hands are up overhead the whole time. I like the V-ups, but do what you like, right? It's all about you. Do what you like. Next up, clasping the hands together. I'm going to circle forward and out like I'm stirring a big pot, okay? This stretch here is for the rhomboids between the shoulder blades and spine. So I'm circling forward and out, forward and out. I want to roll my shoulders forward. It looks like bad posture, to be honest, which you wouldn't want to have this posture all day, but to stretch these muscles a little bit mildly, you want to go forward and out, and that pulls your shoulder blades forward and across. Forward and across. Forward and across. Okay, you may or may not feel that stretch. If you're really sore in the back, like I sometimes am, from other back exercises, for example, from the yesterday or the day before, then I feel it. If I don't have that recent history of exercise, then sometimes I'm not sore there and you don't feel it. That's okay not to feel the exercise, right? It's still good to manually get in there and kind of move them around. Next up, down the body. I'm going to hold on to a wall for this, knee up and across. It's just a gentle, it's a very mild glute stretch. It's up and across. Don't twist your knee though, right? Don't twist the knee that's planted on the floor with your foot. So my right foot down, I don't want to twist that right knee. Left foot down, I'm just pulling my right leg across, then the left leg across. Okay. What I'm avoiding is planting and twisting the whole body. Okay, we don't want to do that. Okay, it's for the glutes. If you want a longer and more intense glute stretch, I usually like the chair and floor stretches. I'll just show you a chair one right now. Sitting, cross the legs, give it a hug. And more intense than this is pulling it across. So instead of just hugging it straight toward your chest, pull it across. This is my right leg, so I'm pulling left. If it's my left leg, pull right. Okay, doesn't matter which side you're on, but that can definitely give you more intensity than the knee up and across one where we're standing like this. That one's not going to give you quite as much. It's a good recovery stretch, but if you're looking for really working on flexibility in those and malleability, stretchiness in those muscles, you want to place and hold a little bit longer. All right, almost done here. Hamstrings. Hold on to something. Hold on to a chair, hold on to a wall, heel down, toe up. Little swings, little swings. Just about done. Good work today. Really critical to recover. It's good that you do it. It's good that you stick around to recover. You could do it kind of on your own, but you want to systematically go through the whole body. And if you do a target muscle group day, then you also want to target that muscle group in your stretching. So if you do a chest day, you want to target those muscles in your recovery. If you do a leg day, a glute day, target those muscles. We did full body, so we're touching on all of them here. All right. Adductors in between the legs. My favorite way to do this one is holding onto the seat of a chair. Nice wide feet and kind of bouncing left and right. Okay, and it's a light bounce. I'm not being too dramatic here. I'm just weight shifting. My right hip goes down, my left hip goes down, right? A little bit of weight shift. Okay, nice wide base of support. You can do that in other ways on the floor. I don't teach it very often, but in my longer, the 45-minute, the full body stretch classes where we're not doing strength, we're just doing stretching, I sometimes go into alternative other stretches that we go beyond a 10-minute, 15-minute stretch. All right, next up, calves. I like to hold onto a chair, heel down, rocking a little bit. Okay, heel down, rocking a little bit. Okay, you're welcome to come to a wall. This actually might be my preference because I can get a really a lot of horizontal pressure here, going down, pushing against the wall, pushing my heel down and back, rocking front to back a little bit. Breathing, all right, and just about done here. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, hip flexors, it'll be brief. It doesn't need to be a very long step. It's not a mobility test, right? You don't need to step as far as possible, just a mild step back. Tuck the tail, squeeze the glutes, and push the hips forward a little bit. Those 3 things usually add enough tension to the front of the hip here, and then we just kind of rock front to back. That front knee bends and extends a little bit. Now you might be in a more exaggerated stance, that's fine. Squeeze the glutes, tuck the tail, rock the hips front to back, that's fine. If you can do those 3 things, if you can still tuck the tail. I have a hard time when I'm standing this dramatically, like with my feet apart, I can't really tuck my tail. It's like pre-tucked, right? There's no pelvic mobility there when I'm standing this far apart. So I gotta stand a little bit closer together. Tuck, squeeze, and rock. Okay, I'm gonna step forward and switch sides. Tuck, squeeze, and rock. Breathe in here, shoulders back, chest up, nose up, nice and tall. Open up the airway. All right. By the way, stretching isn't the only way to do recovery. I love the Gong classes for recovery. If you're sore ever, like sometimes the day after or the day after that, like tomorrow or the next day, I feel a little rusty, feel a little rickety in the morning. One of the good classes you might try for recovery is Gong, Qigong. We've got a bunch of those going on. So yeah, check out one of the Gong classes if you want to do that for recovery. This is like right after exercise recovery. That's like a day after or the night of, like later tonight or tomorrow or the next day or something like that. Like getting the lactic acid moving through the body, really breathing and pumping the oxygen and other gases through the body. All right, awesome job today, everybody. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs.
Whatever you do, don't forget to share the video with somebody you do or don't like. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.